Welcome to Real Estate with Real Faces, where homes meet hometown heroes. We're your trio behind the transaction. I'm Claire Springer, a realtor.
I'm Ashley Four, a lender.
And I'm Lindsay Michael, a title rep, bringing you real conversations with real people in our community.
From local business owners to everyday neighbors, we're spotlighting the faces behind the places and the stories behind the sold signs.
So grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and let's talk life, business, and all things real estate with a personal twist. Welcome back to Real Estate with Real Faces. Today we are going to be talking about if we were to give advice to our younger selves, what would that advice be? Knowing what we know now, living obviously the X amount of years ahead, what would we tell ourselves? And we're going to break it down with personally and professionally. So let's start with professionally. So professionally, for me personally, obviously we know my background. I started teaching. Mm-hmm. I absolutely loved it. I honestly don't think I would tell myself anything different. I really do. I think I would tell myself to follow your dreams and don't be afraid of change, because I was very scared to go into real estate and make that jump completely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's common.
Yeah, it is, because I left something that I had done for...
You went to school for it.
Right, 10 years. Yeah. I knew... Well, and it's so funny. When I went to school, they tell you the stigma of, I don't know what the ratio is, but it was like some of you in your first 5 years are going to no longer be teachers. Yeah. And I was like, not me. I'm always going to be a teacher. I am going to retire being a teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a tattoo on my body that is for teaching. But then teaching changed. My life changed, and I was going to do both at the same time, but I felt like all the signs were telling me go into real estate full time. So like when I was getting my classes, because my teaching license was going up for renewal, I found out I was pregnant the day I started my real estate classes. And so I just felt like that right there was telling me. So I listened, but I had that really hard decision. So again, I think I would just tell myself to follow what I believe, and don't be afraid to change if you have to. Mm-hmm. So what about you guys for professionally?
Me, I would say take more risks, because I really just followed along with whatever was happening, and I didn't really pursue anything. Mm-hmm. When I was young, it was before I got married, is when I started at a bank, because I was just like, well, I've always wanted to work at a bank, I guess. Started as a teller. Didn't think I would be there forever. But, I stayed there for a long time. I did different positions there. And now that I'm almost 41, I wish that I would have put myself out there more and done more and been further ahead now than what I am. I mean, what I'm doing now, this career is good. And, but could I have gotten here sooner? Yeah. Or could I have been doing something even more than that? More than this, if I had done something different before. Yeah. So I went back to school and I got a degree. It took me 8 years, and I'm still not, I guess you could technically say I do stuff in my field because it was public relations, but, I think I realized these things too late, and I wish I would have put myself out there more.
I feel like that's everybody, though. Once you get perspective on a situation, with hindsight's 20/20, you're like, oh, I see where I should have very easily seen that, and I didn't.
And I just always where I'm at now, the company I'm at now. This is the first time I've gotten a job on my own since I ever started at the bank in 2007. not that somebody got me a job, but I knew somebody that I could
get you
to
a
help
position.
me get a position. And this was the first time I didn't do that. And I was like, wow, look at me. Maybe I am good at stuff. You know what I mean? And it just like, I think it was
gave
the
you,
confidence.
the confidence and self-worth, like, to back yourself up.
Yeah. So I just think
So you
trying
tell
things,
yourself.
pushing myself out there and getting myself to do something I'm uncomfortable
Yeah.
doing, I would have done
Yeah.
sooner.
That's a good perspective, honestly. I don't know, if I had to professionally, I've been very happy, like, my entire life with my professional choices.
Yeah.
I've always been the person where, like, if I wanted to try a job, if I wanted to try something, and I could get paid for it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. If I already wanted to do it. We were just talking about this yesterday because an agent found out, or no, it wasn't an agent, it was another title rep. He was looking at my calendar and he's like, net par? What's net par? And I was like, oh, I bartend like 1 day a week. And he was like, why? So I get my golf for free.
Yeah.
And he was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I can come in there and I can golf for free. So I don't have to pay the $80 bay rental or $60 bay rental or whatever. And he's like, you just do like everything, don't you? And I was like, no, if it just works out for me,
Yeah.
I only have to give 5 hours of my time a week.
Right.
Yeah.
And I earn money
And
I get to golf.
All right. That's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I feel like I've collectively gone about like my career. And you said like I've never gotten or this was the first position that you had gotten for yourself. I kind of understand that, but I also don't think that's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a
know?
bad thing. It's
No.
just something that I realized after I got this job.
Right.
I was like, that's the first time I didn't like call somebody and say, hey, I'm thinking about switching. Will
Yeah.
you help me out?
Yeah.
I
give me
did-
some
yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Okay, I
You
see
did
what
it
you're
on your
saying.
own.
I did it on my own.
Yeah. But no, I realized that I realized very early in life that I wasn't going to be able to do a lot of things that I wanted to do if I didn't have money.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like,
The driver.
cool. I
Yeah.
can do this. I can go do that. I wanted cool clothes and cheap jewelry in high school, so I started working at Claire's. Like,
Yeah.
it worked out fine. I moved up through Claire's and then eventually went to icing, and then after that I went to school. And I went to school for something that I knew was like, I had been in love with this since I was a kid, so I might as well learn about it and love it more. And that was teeth. Like, I was the 5-year-old at the dentist that was crying on the way out of the office because I was upset that I didn't have cavities. And I had to wait 6 months to go back and get my teeth cleaned. I thought it was bull crap. I wanted to go back sooner. Like, I loved the smell. I loved the sound. I loved the big words. I love all of it. It is something that just checks the box for me. Mm-hmm. And then naturally transitioned out of that. I had a child during COVID. Don't recommend.
Hopefully that won't be happening again.
But that was the transition to real estate for me was a little bit different because I had someone reach out, and that's where, like, I agree with you. I was petrified to leave the dental field because, like, I might have had crappy days in the dental field, or I might have not, done one thing or another correctly that day, or I didn't load the pockets in the Statum the correct way. Like, all the things could be happening, but it was nice in a lot of ways because at the end of the day I could, turn it off, right? So for me, looking back as a kid, like, I wouldn't change any of my professional decisions. I've been, except for one employer, I've been incredibly happy with the career path that I've chosen, the things that I've been able to do and experience through my careers, especially my dental career, has been insane. Like, when I explain it to people, sometimes they're like, oh my gosh, like, that was your 20s? And I was like, yes. It was awesome. I got paid to travel and learn and, like, nerd out on stuff. So I would tell myself to maybe trust my gut a little bit more on people that I had hired, or maybe not given so many excuses for, like, management that I had. Like, oh, it's okay if they treat me bad. I'm getting really good knowledge out of it. That's very common with like when you work with doctors sometimes.
But I think, again, that's just something that you learn as you grow, too.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that when it's happening.
No. I was just grateful to be there and be around so many so many like intellectually brilliant people that
Yeah.
I was like, you can yell at me and tell me I'm worthless if you want to. I'm still gonna listen to everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, so that I wish I would have gotten a little bit stronger of a backbone when I was younger, maybe, because I had tough skin. That was fine. But
See, that's what I would tell myself for personally. My
okay.
personal side, I would tell myself to trust my intuition on people. There's some people in my life that it took me so long to recognize and understand like who I am and what they're doing to me, that finally they're out of my life, but it shouldn't have taken me as long as it did.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I definitely had stuff
Yeah.
like that as well.
And the sad part is there's family that is out of my life now because
Yeah.
it was just a lot. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like like we all know me as like very loud and bubbly and stuff like that, right? But like who? Yeah, I know, me. But when I was around that person,
it was
you wouldn't-
muted.
You wouldn't you wouldn't even recognize who I was.
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
what
I
I
was
mean.
starting. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was toned down.
quiet
It was
and-
muted.
I would be short fused, and it was like I was turning into that person.
Oh, okay.
So I wish I would have trusted my intuition, and I knew it back in high school because I remember telling someone about that person. I don't want to say names because
Well, yeah.
and they were like, no, you shouldn't feel that way, like don't feel that way, it's your family, like blah blah. And I'm like, they something inside me, so I wish I would have trusted that. And then also even just with some certain friends in my life that I should have trusted my intuition and exes and obviously
Yeah.
on that situation. The other part for me personally, there was a time in my life that I was afraid to be like who I really am. I could cry. Sorry.
No,
Where it's like
if you cry, you cry. You cry.
where I'm not a big crier. I don't.
I'm not
I don't
either.
like to cry in front of people because
There's a
again, there's that.
Yeah,
I don't-
All my background.
Everything's fine and
Yes,
bubbly and great.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of stuff that was going on this past weekend, and again, I felt the person I was dealing with was reminding me so much of that family member. I mean, literally to the T. There was so similarities that I was falling back into. I wasn't speaking. I wasn't talking. I didn't want to.
Short-tempered.
Short-tempered.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get off the couch. Like
You're on edge.
so
Yeah,
bad, and I
yeah.
felt like I had this chest or like something on my chest, like what? And anxiety. I
I would say
remember
that's panic and anxiety.
it is. It is. I literally remember I was calling this person, not the family member, the person I was dealing with this past weekend. And my adrenaline was going so much.
You're shaking.
I was shaking. Like you could hear it in my voice.
Yeah.
And my hands were frozen.
That is
like
a visceral reaction to past trauma that
Correct.
you've had. Like, you can't control that.
correct.
Yeah.
But it was
Proud of you for still calling, though.
I know. It was so bad. It was so like I felt like I needed gloves. It was bad.
I've been there.
So of course I trust my
You
intuition.
said that and my hands started sweating.
I know. And then the other part would be just don't dim down your light. You know? Like, again, I was that person that if somebody in school or a person would be like, wow, you're loud, or you're too much energy, calm it down, or I can't stand when somebody tells me to calm down.
Chill.
Because
I
it's
hate
like,
that.
why are you trying to change who I am? If you
Challenge
don't-
accepted.
Right.
I will not.
Go back to Ryan.
will not
Just
be
learn
cool.
how to interact with my personality.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
No, but like I'm not here to change anybody else, so why are you trying to change me?
Yeah.
So I have
Can I say something about you?
yeah.
I think that you do a very good job in person of you read people, and whether or not your personalities are going to vibe, you do not disrespect them in the conversation, but the moment you see an out of the conversation, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go over here, and you just exit yourself.
Yeah.
I see you do, and I'm like, whoa, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Because I'll just stand there, and I'll be like, yeah, In my head, I'm like, can you shut the fuck up?
I know. I've seen that.
And then I'm like, Lindsay, you're wasting their time. Tell them. And I'm like, I can't do it.
No, I am very much that person. I will say that.
I know, and I love when you do it. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could.
But I didn't realize that until I was.
Because you're so respectful when you do it.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not trying to do it in a malicious way or anything. It's more of just like,
this isn't gonna work out.
This.
Not my cup of tea. Moving on.
Yeah,
literally,
exactly.
that's the vibe that it gives off in person.
But I don't mean it to. But it's
not.
It's just like
it's because I know you, so I can see it. But I actively see these other people in conversation with you, not realize it's happening.
Oh,
and I'm
but
like,
see,
this
there's
is
some
wonderful.
people that do tell me. Like, I think it must be like the outsiders that see it, where you're not in the conversation. Because I've had somebody tell me before, like, do you not like them? And I'm like, no, it's not that I don't like them. It's just. I don't think we would get along.
There's a conversation in particular at the S-Bar Christmas party that happened this year, and I was in the conversation, and I knew that you were going to do it, because I was like, this is not her type of conversation. Like, this is not, she's getting nothing out of this conversation. And you and your husband were just standing there, and I was like, she's going to leave. She's going to dip. I can feel it. And literally, Kyle reached over, and he was like, hey, we're going to go get a drink. And I was like, I knew it. No, I just think it's a really cool quality that you have, that you maintain.
But it wasn't, obviously, like I said, it wasn't like that. It was just, and I mean, even at the bowling, somebody told me, Claire, calm down. Fun. I did too. Yes. But somebody told me to calm down because I was screaming and shouting. Like, if somebody got a spare or a strike, I'm that person. I'm going to be loud, and I'm cheering you on.
Yeah. I almost got 3 strikes in a row, and I was about to do a turkey dance up there. Like, that's what we do in our family. So I was like...
and then even, like, I'm just...
because my kids aren't here.
Like, I remember I was up to bowl, and someone else from my team was on the other side, and I could have gone easily, but I stopped, and I was like... You got this. Pick it up. You got this. Follow those arrows. You're going to be okay. You got this. Let's go. Like, that's just who I am. So when the person on a different team told me to, Claire, calm down. When I was excited, I said, oh, no, I'm winning that spirit award. No, like, that's just me. Yeah, this is who I am now. And, like, don't. So, again, I would tell myself, don't dim your light. You know, there's going to be people that don't like it. There's going to be people that absolutely love it. Yeah. And just be who you are.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds so cliche, but again,
really.
Knowing who I was that excited little girl, but then there were times where, again, going back to some of these people that shouldn't have been in my life.
Yeah.
Why did I change so much to try and fit their molds? Yeah. Like, I should have been who I am now and be like, no, you want me to do what? Yeah, nah, not my thing.
That ain't me.
Yeah. So,
well, and I think that, like, this kind of goes. It makes me think of my kids. Like, sometimes they do stuff that, like, I don't understand why they're doing it or whatever, or like why they don't do certain things, you know. But then I'm like, you know what? Yeah. They're their own person.
Yeah.
They have their own ways about them.
I rember doing weird stuff.
I'm not going to try and change them.
I sent my daughter to school. So sorry to her teachers. She looked like a clown today. Her makeup, but she thought she was the most beautiful little girl.
Yep.
She
is.
Yeah, she is. Listen, the way she has so much skill in putting lipstick on without a mirror, I'm jealous.
Really?
I am. She pulled out that lipstick and no mirror, just sitting at the kitchen table, did her lipstick. Nothing was up here, nothing, and I was like, "Get it, girl!" But then she uses a mirror to do her eyeshadow. She used bright blue, and I mean bright.
Yeah, like 80s, 90s.
Yeah, exactly. With some sparkle in it.
Ooh.
From all her eyelid up to her eyebrows.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
that's how the queens do it. What do you mean?
Girl, with some bright pink lipstick.
I love it.
She came out of her bedroom,
yeah, 100%. Love it.
And I was like, but again, that again, going back to me.
Yes.
I'm not going to dim that. I'm not going to say, no, wash your face.
No.
You look like a clown.
I have to show you, because the very first picture in my phone is Cassandra doing that when she's 2 and I let her dress herself. She has gold sparkly shoes, purple socks, and I'm just like,
girl.
get it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's what you want to do. That's
Exactly.
cool. Yeah.
Go for it.
Whatever.
I'm not here to tell you.
Yeah.
You do you. You think you're beautiful. I'm not going to dim that.
Yeah.
Yep. That is, well, I think that's
With your kids.
with my kids. I'm like that because I don't know if this is too deep, but like
You literally just told Claire to cry earlier.
Yeah.
well, like you know, I'm 40, but I honestly still don't feel like I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. I didn't really have anybody that
Yeah.
like held me back from anything, but like, you know, back in high school, I wasn't goth, but I loved that kind of stuff.
So you're like alternative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I wore I got pictures of me. I had like this fishnet long sleeve shirt with the thumb holes
Yeah.
with a red shirt under.
Yeah.
I had my
Chain
red
pants.
flannel chain pants. Like
Yeah.
I loved the Osbournes. I loved Alice Cooper. Like
Osborne show back in the day is
Oh,
I
so
used to love that
underrated.
show.
there's a time and a place,
Oh,
baby. I love that
God.
show.
Me
But-
too.
so like I liked that kind of stuff, and I just kind of stopped doing it because as I got older, I was like,
It wasn't socially
it didn't
acceptable
feel
anymore.
yeah, it didn't feel like I should be doing that. But now that I'm this age, I still like that stuff.
Right.
But now I'm like, but I'm not gonna buy any of that stuff because
Why?
I don't need to, but also I'm like, but I want to.
But like, why? Why wouldn't you?
You might
I'm cheap, first of all.
But you might meet a client. You might meet Shein or Goodwill.
Yeah,
You might meet a client though that.
vibes
with
it.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
jinx.
I know, and
Okay, I feel you because like growing up, I was very much the person where like I was a cheerleader in high school. I did the sports and I did softball, all the things. So like I had on game days, like we wore our
your cheer
cheer
stuff.
and like I very preppy and great, and I had a high pony and everything was. At home, I'm dressing alternative. I have all of the things. So like now as an adult, I compromised with my concerts that I go to. I have like a concert wardrobe where like I love country,
Yeah.
but I also love people like Pretty Reckless and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all of the things. So when I go to concerts, I would buy that just for that, and I would
Yeah.
wear it and
yeah,
love it. You know,
yeah.
bring out your kid.
I think I said this the other day that my music taste, like if you ever have me control the aux cord,
Yeah, I love it.
I'm
all
so
over the
sorry.
place.
It's all over the place. You're gonna hear the used.
kinda-
You're gonna hear Knox. You're gonna hear some.
White stripes.
You're gonna hear some Thomas Rhett. You're gonna hear some Taylor Swift is coming on.
Ella Langley better be in there. I'm gonna be
Who?
Ella Langley.
Yep, she's gonna be like. You're gonna hear some, and probably and my mom's music is on there as well. Some Barry Manilow.
There's some Christian music on mine. It just pops in
Yeah, I
and
don't
out
think I
every
have
once
any
in a-
Christian music.
I'll have to send you this one because it's not really freaking good. It's
Oh,
not your typical.
Switchfoot. Switch. I have Switchfoot.
Okay. Well, and like I have multiple playlists on my Spotify. Like I have liked songs, and then I have like the DJ mode, which I've not been a fan of lately. It used to do very good, and then I have like all of our band songs. So like
Okay.
that list is
Yeah.
wild.
Mine is just like all over the place. It really is,
too.
and I don't.
That's a
only
good
thing I
thing.
don't
I feel
really
like
But
that's
again,
a great thing,
it's
though.
like what you said. I like again when I was younger. I used to feel like
You
I
had
need to,
like,
be,
yeah.
and I so like when I liked the used, nobody knew about it. No,
Yeah, it was just your own little
because it
personal
was
jam.
like
I- you
I
know,
don't want
that
anybody
was
to.
me with Glee growing up.
So
I
loved Glee.
But again, I was in show choir. So
was I.
I was in show choir, but the stigma of like show choir at my school, yeah, it was
one
like
of those.
it was better than being in band.
I was in band.
Yeah,
Oh,
see, you were show
My
choir
high
was better
school
than
was
being in band,
so-
but then
We didn't have show choir.
I was a volleyball player, and volleyball players were like what the stigma of a cheerleader. So our cheerleaders
Yeah. Weren't.
were low. The volleyball players and football players were together.
Yeah.
So of course, when I started dating a football player,
Yeah.
because we're volleyball, and then the football players would all come and watch the volleyball players' games, and
See, I just think I went to like Jimtown High School was so backwards in the best way when I went there. So it was like 2009 to 2012.
yeah,
Literally everyone was friends with everyone. for the most part. Like, there was, like,
Yeah,
the few people that refused to be friends with other people because they wanted to be the loners. They wanted to be the outsiders. But, like, I'm not even joking. If you were in show choir, you were hot shit in our school.
Oh, no.
Oh, the talent show was lit every year.
Like, we had the exceptions, because there was, again, show choir wasn't frowned upon like the drama club or the band, because, again, there were some of us that were in show choir
that were also
were in sports and such like that.
That's how it was in ours too.
But then I was like also a weird exception. Like, I have some best friends. They hated high school. They had a very different experience than I did.
I love high school.
I did too. I loved high school. I did too. But I was also that person that I was in the International Baccalaureate program. So it's higher than high honors, right? And those were seen as like the nerds, and they only hung out really with themselves. But because I was in sports, I was seen as that preppy, jockey person, right? But then on top,
who just happened to be a nerd.
Who happened to be a nerd, but then also there were certain classes that I took that were regular classes. Well, okay, they weren't regular, they were honors.
Right, but they were within that academic
right,
normalcy.
because I was in show choir. So then I took classes with some of the students that like would never be in high honors or international baccalaureate. So then I have a lot of friends that were there.
Literally,
so everybody was like, Claire, you are the definition of floater. You're all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but again,
you probably had one or two really good friends in high school, and then you were just friends with everyone else.
That's kind of how I was, because I was in band, but in Edwardsburg, band is. That was again fine. Show choir. Like, I went from Gymtown to Edwardsburg, and I was worried being because they didn't
in
have
Gymtown
show choir when I was in Edwardsburg.
Well, they had the Bella group, so it was true. I was worried about the transition because I was like, I like singing and I like the show choir and all that, and then going to Edwardsburg, you're 100% about that. Like, band and show choir in Edwardsburg, same thing.
But like, I was acquaintances with pretty much everybody. Like, I didn't not get along with anybody. Like, I didn't have a problem with people. I would talk to everybody, and if they were the popular kids, I had fine relations. I think it's because I was in band, and some of them were in band with me, and then some of the, like, even when I wasn't in band, because I didn't do it my senior year, but my junior and senior year, I did choir and drama, and I was in the musicals, and like,
so much fun.
There was so many,
because nobody went to the theater.
Oh, really?
Nobody.
Well, Eversburg is
they
so
would make
small.
us go, and people would skip school
really
just so they didn't have to go. And it's like, why would you skip school? It's a free period to watch
somebody
a production. Nope, people would skip.
Yeah, no. So I mean,
I'm guilty of that as well.
I think it's, it was such a small school that there was only so many things that people could be doing. Yeah. So it was like,
yeah, what are you going to do? Skip at Edwardsburg and go down to Maple Cafe when it was there?
Right.
Like, or Stacy's or Lunkers and walk around? Like,
no, you're not. So it's, people just did everything. So, like, there was really popular kids in band and choir and theater, and then there was people that were not. And I got along with everybody. Yeah. So, and I
just
think it was
yourself,
and I feel like I was a lot more myself in high school than I was after high school. So, and I think that's where the disconnect is like, I don't know where I fit in. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really weird feeling as an adult.
Yeah.
Because like, you're past your time of, I don't want to say you're past your time of making friends, but
it's harder.
It's a lot harder.
So hard.
But do
like,
you
this
feel
is
like...
nice because we met from the profession, but we also get along.
Right,
so it's
right. It's like blending.
Yeah, we've invited each other outside.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
but I think that's kind of like I
see me in my natural habitat in the woods.
Yeah, and then if you want to come back to my house, then. But no, I think that's what makes like friendships as adults better, though, because
you're not right. You're not wrong.
They're harder to attain. Mm-hmm. They're easier to keep. I feel like in a lot of ways because we're more understanding of like life and stuff. You're more apt to be able to just pick up the phone and be like, "Hi."
It's harder starting out though because it's like, what side of me are you going to see?
Yes.
and what
Yes.
side are you going to not like about me? So like and then also like how much should I trust you? Because
Yeah.
I already have trust issues. So like I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit. Oops,
Just kidding,
a lot.
really bad.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is, I feel like you click on something that is
You.
you instead of, oh, I'm just friends with them because I have second, fourth, and third period with them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, it's different. It's like you're choosing it.
Yeah,
versus, like,
I was
it's
going to
just
say, it's
your,
more like you're choosing people.
So I feel like
instead
I
of
get a
just
lot
being there.
more out of relationships, friendships now as an adult than I ever
Yeah,
did.
true.
But I feel like that's how I would change it for me personally, though. Like, my family dynamic is super weird. Lots of age gaps. I am the youngest by a lot in my generation, and then the generation below me is only 4 years difference. So, yeah, like growing up, the dynamic of who felt like what to me was not the dynamic of what their actual title was,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Plus, my mom was chronically ill my whole life, so there was a lot of other things that had to go on, and I don't want to say like I looked for love everywhere, because it wasn't love. It was more of like
Affection.
affection and validation.
Yeah.
So,
Attention.
yes.
Yes.
So,
I feel that.
yes. But it's like a switch flips with me very fast, where I'm like, attention is fine, but once you cross that imaginary line of like, oh, this isn't like fun anymore, like you're being serious.
Yeah.
Whether it's a guy, a girl, or a situation, whatever, I instantly am like, no. Like, I want none of it anymore. Like, everything is gone. But, so I feel like even with my friendships, one in particular, best friend for over a decade, there were so many good years of that friendship that I would never trade, like, ever for a lifetime. We haven't spoke in years at this point.
Yeah.
Almost as long as we were friends. And her dad passed away. And she reached out through someone else and was like, she is absolutely more than welcome to come. That was her dad, too. Didn't speak when we were there, didn't do anything, but it was respectful, and it was, you know what I'm saying? So, like, there were plenty, I know that it was real. I know that I loved her and she loved me, looking back on it.
Yeah.
You know?
People grow apart.
Yeah. Oh, I had a friend.
I
I
just
have
didn't-
the
that
same
hurt-
thing. The same
I had a friend too that I thought we were, that was it. We were best friends.
Yeah.
Like we were gonna go to the grave together. Like we were it. And then my life started falling apart when I lost 2 dogs in the matter of 24 hours.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
I lost my grandma.
Those are the dogs
which-
in the painting in your living room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my grandma, who was like my second mom.
Yeah.
And then my nana, at the time, got into a very bad, paralyzing car accident. So it was just like my life, I needed her,
Yeah.
and she couldn't be there. And it was because emotionally it was too much for her, and she told me that. And
Yeah.
I broke down. Like, what do you mean? But now thinking back, like, again, who I am now, there was so much of my life that I never shared with her.
Yeah.
That
so
it's
it was
like-
probably very, like, where's this coming from type
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
But then also, like, why, you know what I mean? Like, we were best friends, but, like, again,
And see,
like, thinking
even-
back, is it that much of a best, because my best friend now, like,
it wouldn't be
she-
anything. It'd be like a Tuesday if she was
Right.
like, oh, but that's not how the situation was with this, though. Like, we had been friends for forever, and I was always the friend that was like,
Yeah.
I got you. I'll pick you up. I got you. You need money. I got you. Blah, 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember it hit me one day where she knew that I was hard on cash. I think we were like 20 years old at this point. And she had went to bingo. She won like $1,500 or something like that. And I was like,
bingo.
holy shit, right? I was like, oh my, I've always wanted to go since then. Paige and I were actually talking about it, and I was like, so.
Can we do it?
Saturday.
I would love to.
Saturday.
I work.
it's
I have to work.
No, it's on Saturdays.
Oh.
at Rainbow Bingo
that's
Hall.
where she won at.
That's where I go.
It's over in Mishawaka.
Correct.
Okay, anyway,
We need to
she
go.
won,
Anyway,
and I was like,
Tell you
dang.
everything about it.
I was driving her all around that day, and a part of me, I didn't ask because I'm not the person, but a part of me really wanted her to offer me gas money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because of all the times that
'Cause
you
she
have.
should've.
And it
Yeah.
never happened.
Yeah.
After she had just pulled out all of this money from the ATM and went shopping that day, I was driving her all around, like, and I was like, holy shit, she really doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, and if she does care, it's just not registering in the way that I need it to for her, you know? Fast forward, she goes to college, follows a boy, and blah, 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 blah. We all thought it was going to be great. Like, it wasn't one of those situations where we're like, don't follow the guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. We all loved it. Like, they were going to college. She got out of a bad family situation. Like, we were all so proud. He cheated on her in college, and I get a random call on a Thursday, and her dad needed $800 to drive to Missouri to pick her up. Here's your money. That is the type of friend that I was. Oh, yeah. Like, I always wanted her to be safe. I always wanted, like, and none of that was put on her. Like, now, hindsight again, looking back, like, that was all in my head.
Yeah.
That was me just blatantly ignoring the fact that, yes, we had amazing times together, but the second she got a serious boyfriend, I was dropped. Yeah. The second she found a new friend that was cooler or more shiny and pretty because the new hadn't worn off yet, I was out for 2 weeks until she's like, oh, I miss you. Do you want to, like, veg and not do anything? Yeah. Yes. You know, like, I was her safe friend like where she came back to. And I wish that I would have had more of a backbone and stood up for myself and just ended the friendship or redeveloped it in a new way instead of ending it the way that I did.
Yeah.
Because I am the type of person where, like, I will avoid it. Not so much anymore, but with my friendships in the past, 100%. And then my life was in the crap at that point. Like, Cassie had just got her kidney taken out. Like, I was 21, so I could also drink at that point. And, like, it was just a lot. And I did something that I knew was going to end the friendship. And there was no coming back from it. And it was easier for me to make that horrible decision than it was for me to have, Yeah. And that is, like, literally my personal one regret that I have. Not that I ended that relationship, but going down a road that I didn't belong in, that I had never walked down before to make a single shitty decision to trample my way back up and be like, okay, that was one decision, and now I have to spend the next 10 years undoing all of the... it was... Yes, when I could have just grown some lady, you know, bits and had a conversation. Yeah. So, moving forward since then, I have tried really hard to just be very blunt about things when I need to be, because if not,
As you stand in a conversation that you don't want to be a part of.
That I can do.
That's different.
But that in my head, it's a little uncomfortable for me to hear these people just because I'm not interested. It's not, but how do you know that me standing there for 5 minutes listening to something that I don't give two craps is not making that person's day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. So that is one, I will continue to put myself in an uncomfy position or whatever, but not with the big stuff anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but now I just need to learn how to not be so, like, get away from me! Literally.
You're becoming friends, I don't like it.
Yeah, no.
Well, my best friend from, like, middle school through high school, even after that, I could see it, but I couldn't really see it in the way I should have, is that when she would get a boyfriend
you were kicked to the curb.
I was, you know, I wouldn't get calls back, I wouldn't get nothing like that. And then eventually, like, it was during COVID, you know, it been many years of this, like, seeing her every once in a while whenever she had time or whatever, and me being the one to
initiate and do all the things.
And so she was supposed to come over one day, and then she messaged me and was like, hey, I can't come because her daughter had gotten COVID. I was like, totally fine, right? Yeah. Well, then later that evening, she posted on Facebook that her and her, they might have been, I don't think they were married yet, but fiance or whatever, they were out doing something. Like, and that was the day I decided I'm not going to be reaching out to her anymore. Yeah. And I haven't. And I have talked to her twice since then. And that was years ago. It was during COVID.
I feel like we all just had, like, our own confessions. Yeah. Like, do we even have
I know, right? Confessions? I was just thinking that that I was like, well, I don't really think we need to have a confession at the end of this.
Yes.
That was a lot of confessing.
We shared a lot about ourselves and shared a lot of confessions.
Yes, yes.
These are our confessions. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Don't know how much that helped you.
That was our gun session.
Helped us listen to each other, and this was therapy with real estate with real faces.
Thank you so much for being our therapist today.
Yes, exactly.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so
You'll be billed via,
yeah. But thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.